So apparently I'm not going to be able to show off the new avatar because Restream, for whatever reason, isn't allowing me to add a new one. So I can just, click through the ones I've already had for the past few streams. A few times I've changed it anyway. So yeah, we're here. It's Friday night. Forgot what day of the week it was. It's been a hell of a week. Um, we will open with good news. After that little fraud incident, just got my money back. So in under a week, that's freaking awesome. Um, and secondly, today we're going to watch most of a Hovind video, but we're going to interject with an AJ video. Now this will all make sense when we actually get to it. There's something else I was going to say, and I totally forgot. So I guess we're just going to have to roll with it because I don't know, we're doing it live, and you know how it goes. So let me click the magic buttons of buttonness. Yep, there we go. The clown we all love to laugh at. So it was funny this morning. AJ texted me, and it's the beginning. It's 6 a.m. I'm at work, just getting started, and he's texting me, and he had freshly uploaded his moment in this, because that's what happens. AJ calls in on this, and he did his own video, just showing it and then adding a little commentary at the end, and it's worth watching that. One, to give the additional view, and two, to get his commentary at the end. There's actually a moment where AJ thought Kent had shown me from some interaction via some third-party debate thing, and no, he got me mixed up, but dude had a voice kind of similar to mine, as far as AJ, heard at a glance. So it was funny. So for like the first hour of work, I'm like, wait, where the fuck is this? Where does he show me? I need to know. How the hell did he get my image? Do I have a spy in my members only that's capturing the one members only stream where I showed my face? Yeah, that's why you want to be a channel member. You get to see behind the scenes stuff like, I don't know, me. Anyway, I'm just being stupid. It really was a hell of a week. Let's get even stupider by actively watching Kent Hovind, and trust me, you will want to stay for the end. It gets weird. Very weird. But enough preamble. Let's get to this.
Good evening, folks. Kent Hovind here and the crew at Dinosaur Adventureland and Genesis Baptist Church in Lenox, Alabama. It is June the 26th, 2025. Open mic tonight. You can call in.
Oh, I know what I was going to say now that he mentioned the date. Since Hovind, since Hovind cares about history so much, I thought I'd one-up his and let everyone know that I just recently realized, because I knew the date seemed kind of like, wait a minute, June 27th, and then it clicked with me. Today marks the 75th anniversary of when the U.S. sent troops in at the beginning of the Korean War. So 3/4 of a century ago, our involvement in that conflict happened, and it started on the 25th with North Korea's assault southward. As you may know, I'm inter-Korean relations, Cold War period, the legacy of the Korean War and the like, are a subject of interest for me. So I might begin writing some pieces on this, reflecting and the like. I don't know. It's kind of my thing when anniversaries of stuff come up. Yeah, it's one of the many things I procrastinate about. All right, got that out of the way. Let's get back to Dr. Dumbass.
We believe evolution is the dumbest and most dangerous religion in the history of the world. Prove me wrong. Come on, call in, you brave atheist. We got a bunch of channels.
Come on. Call into my show, bro. Come in. Make me feel important, Hovind.
We're on Facebook, Rumble, Twitter, our app, Instagram.
Let the record show that it is the beginning of Soot Kettle's awesome-ass, month plus vacation up there in the apparently awesome, badass land that is Sweden. So, one, everyone be jealous of Soot, and two, wish him a very good little vacation away from everything.
Instagram, you can sign up for all of them. They're all free. In case they cut us off of one, you can
sign up for all my services too. They're all free. I actually provide services to people that are things beyond, feeding my own ego, which is true. I provide communication services and multiple methodologies. That's kind of my thing. You want forums? You want an image board? You want damn direct messaging that isn't Discord and shit? I got you covered, baby. Ask me more. DM for information.
Get another one. Go to iOS or Apple TV or whatever. Be sure to tell your friends about us if you like the messages. We want to help strengthen your faith.
Yeah, and be sure to tell your friends about me if you like my message. The message is Hovind sucks. Linux is cool. BSD is cool. Windows is annoying me. Video games suck now. Sometimes they're cool, but for the most part, it sucks. The culture's destroyed. Damn kids need to get off my lawn. My right knee hurts like a motherfucker. There's my messages, damn it.
We believe the Bible is true and evolution is stupid. So June's 20.
And we believe evolution is just an observable fact of reality, and then Hovind's stupid. Funny how that works. Dude, it's fucked up knowing that in under 10 days I will have more than likely met this bastard in person.
26th tonight, Thursday night. Next, in about 10 days, we're going up to the Kentucky Atheist rally at Ken Ham's.
AJ's got ice cream. Fuck yeah, we're in business. Brighteon sounds like a Pokemon, yeah, except Kent pronounces it Brighton. Hovind, he got electrolytes. That's what creationists crave.
Noah's Ark in Middleborough, Kentucky. Want to join us? I'm just going to be there for a couple hours.
You know, you think Hovind, being from Illinois, would be more obsessed with corn, because, you know, it's got the juice.
I'll tell you why. Let's see. There it is. Go help Kentucky Atheists see the light. If you're anyone near Lexington or on the route and like to offer housing, please let me know right away. We're going to have about 6 people going and going to need a place to stay just one night, Saturday night. Okay? Maybe as many as 8. I doubt it.
Oh, shit. I didn't catch that. Not a Pound Air to Ground post a video on the A26 invade. Oh, you know what? No, maybe I did. I think I caught that actually. Like, if it was uploaded super early, I caught that while I was sleeping. I like sort of went back to sleep to that video. It was great. I'll listen to it again while I'm actually conscious.
So let's see. Now, right here. The world's largest horseshoe crab. The guy donated it to us. He's about an hour and a half away from the Noah's Ark encounter. I said, hey, I need someone with a truck and maybe a 20-foot trailer to meet us in Hillsboro Sunday afternoon, July 6th, to help haul the world's largest horseshoe crab parts down to Lenox.
And Hovind just begging for more help with shit. Good fucking God, Hovind. Can you just do anything yourself? Can you just pay for anything yourself? You've got the fucking money.
We're going up with a couple trucks and 2 trailers, what we've got here. Or we're going to need a 3rd one.
2 turntables and a microphone.
There it is. He's got it all taken apart. Giant fiberglass horseshoe crab. And we're going to load it on trucks and bring it down here.
Notice he's focusing heavily on the anus of the horseshoe crab. Also, Kent, why in the fuck do you need a giant horseshoe crab? Oh, right, you were going up that way, so you just had to make it work.
To Lenox, Alabama, and reassemble it. So Krabby is moving to Lenox. If you notify any social media you know of that mentions Krabby, a lot of these travel places have, things to see. Tell them, hey, Krabby's moving to Lenox. Okay. Help us stay open for...
Notify any social media. It's like when his old dumbass and other people say, I'm going to do a YouTube.
For free, join our 777 club. Go call Bobby or Krista if you have any questions on that.
Yeah. Are you truck to up to Kentucky as well? Or are you car to Alabama, Kent?
855 Big Dino extension 1. There's our website, Dr. Dino. Okay, tonight we're going to talk about, just for a minute, Mr. Nelson. This guy, I see less and less hope of him getting it. This is Matt Powell's channel that he did. Let's see. And he starts off with...
Hovind got to let Matt Powell know. No, Senpai Hovind still thinking about little Maddie Hovind. Maddie Hovind, yeah, there we go. Little Maddie Hovind, Powellette, ooh.
Mr. Nelson.
Despite everybody correcting him, he still says that, well, evolutionists believe we came from a rock. Except...
He's talking about me, okay? And yes, you do believe he came from a rock, but go ahead. Let's listen to him now.
That no evolutionist ever believed that. Nobody,
Yeah.
not one, not ever.
This scientific paper says here that you can see, it says life and rocks may have coevolved.
Breaking news from Atheist Jr. Kim Jong-un is dead. That's right, dead tired of Ken Hovind misrepresenting evolution. You know, that's not the first time the Itchy and Scratchy Land joke has been used today in my personal life. I left it on another unrelated, it was like a Guitar Center shit posting group. The guy posted, "This group is dead," and I'm like, that's right, dead serious about going to Itchy and Scratchy Land. And people are liking that, so I'm like, my job here is done. Time to move to greener pastures on that there Facebook. Oh look, AI slop. Attack Krabby's weak point for massive damage. Seriously? Krabby's moving anywhere near Lennox. I don't know. Hovind moved there, and he's pretty damn crabby. Can't got crab and electrolytes. Electrolytes, the what Krabby craves. R and Raw Kent, not Mr. Nelson. Ken already was donated a giant monstrosity. Now he wants something to haul it to, someone to haul it to him, and he ends with, "And give me your money." Yeah. By the way, if you want to give your money to a better cause, there's all kinds of them out there other than Hovind. I obviously accept donations, but you could also donate to, and I'm not even kidding, you know, St. Jude's Children Research. That would be awesome. I'm actually trying to come up with an idea of setting up some kind of personally done fundraiser, because there ain't much going on in Memphis, and sure, it could be physically located anywhere, but that Children's Research Hospital's here. Which sounds weird when you say it like that sometimes, like children research, what? But the stuff they do is incredible. So, hell, even drunken peasants took donations for them at a point. In my job, if I said someone's name is wrong this much, I would get fired twice. Crotch cooties, probably. When Ken is gone from DAL, we can infiltrate and steal the Krabby Patty secret recipe. Yes. Oh God, we're not mentioning the Nussie today. All right, let's continue. Oh, this is gonna be a hell of a stream. You see, we got 40 fucking minutes of Hovind to deal with here. Although AJ is present for a decent chunk of them, so we've got that to look forward to.
Evolved on Earth.
Do y'all know that AJ guy? He's pretty damn cool.
And it goes on to say that rocks beget life. Right there.
And once again, see right there, evolution does not say that we came from a rock. Why do you keep saying evolution is, we claim that we came from rock? It's not what.
Oh yeah, I had started watching that, and never, and then work got serious, so I had to back away. And this is the dude that AJ thought was me, and I'm like, okay, I hear it, you know, on my headphones instead of my speaker, and it's like, or my phone speaker, and it's like, oh yeah, I can kind of see. I can kind of see. Nah, don't look like that. A little similar, but I don't look like that. So initiative, what goodies is a coin to spare. Oh, yep. Deviant sharing the GoFundMe to help, primarily to help us get Seth moved down here. And AJ recommends if you're donating to some charities, donating to Border Angels. They place life-saving gallon jugs of water and other resources along the Mexican-Texas border that can literally save lives. Yeah, I mean, it's a fucking desert down there. And not just the Texas side, but a lot of the Mexico side going up towards the border is pretty inhospitable desert. People trying to come to the country in hopes of a better life, they don't make it a lot of the times. It's a serious issue, and any help they can get. Although that should tell you a lot, given that even with the hostile political climate we have, and you know, the immigrants being treated like pure scum, regardless of if they follow the system. Which I remind you, people who put in visas before 9/11 are just now getting approved if they're from Mexico. I'm not fucking kidding on that either. That's how long the wait period is. you could literally die before they get around to approving you. Yeah, they're still trying to come here. That should tell you something about what they see that sometimes we're too jaded to be able to see by comparison. All right, done being serious. Let's goof on the Hovind.
What people that believe in evolution, it's not what they believe at all. It's not what they say.
Here's from a scientific paper that was published recently. It says rocks and minerals must have played key roles in virtually every phase of life's emergence. And they may have even acted as life's first genetic system.
And Matt Powell has no fucking clue what he's talking about. And look at Kent with the stupid grin.
There's Grandma and Grandpa, folks.
He just starts with that old man grin. It's like, dude, yeah, you find fucking childish things cute because you're an overgrown pissant kid. By the way, his SpongeBob obsession goes to before his arrest. It felt like it was one of those things that came out of nowhere when he came back. No. He has SpongeBob in his slides from circa 2003 to 2005 range, which makes sense for given the age of his grandkids at the time. But still, it's just an interesting thing that he brings it up. He already had started putting it in back before the arrest and incarceration.
Go get him, Matt. Keep it up. But subscribe to Matt's channel. He's doing a great job up there in Michigan. Okay, so nobody believes we came from a rock. Let me see. I have right here. Let's see. Do you believe you came from a rock? Right here. Look at that bundle of chemicals. Let's call him Cosmic Fluid.
Look at this fucking moron we've got on the screen. Somehow he's proceeded to fail upwards his entire life, even though in studying him with the incredible depth that we have, he's been shown to be absolutely incompetent. AJ says, imagine like actually having to cross that border and being super parched and you're about to give up and you just come across a full gallon jug of water. And that's what I call a charity. Volume 25. Yeah, exactly.
Look, when Earth was formed 4.5 billion years ago, it was a uniform ball of hot rock. Radioactive decay and leftover heat from planetary formation, et cetera, made it get hotter. At first, Earth was a ball of molten rock.
Yeah. Now, please, Kent, go through the steps to say that explicitly that life, quote unquote, came from a rock, as you put it.
Let's see. Earth's one.
You taught English. You should understand how grammar works, what it means to say things the way you say them.
Formed, it was a hot ball of rock. Rock melted, and the Earth was a hot ball of melted rock orbiting the sun. Earth started off as a hot, viscous ball of rock. National Pornographic, okay? New research suggests when Earth was still a ball of molten rock, it had covered in warm, beautiful oceans. Oh, Mars was, okay, yeah, Mars, okay. Earth is thought to form 4.6.
Yeah, Kent, let's not get started on fucking Mars. Of course, you'll say, oh, that's proof a worldwide flood could happen on a planet that is a quarter. Well, not a quarter, but it's small. Is it about a quarter? I can't remember. I feel like I might be getting stuff mixed up. Mars is freaking small compared to Earth, though. And given the events that that happened on it, it makes sense that there would have been not so much a global flood, but yeah, Mars got knocked the fuck out.
6 billion years ago. Yeah. Earth began as a hot ball of rock. And then the oceans formed as it rained on the rocks for millions of years, okay? No evolutionists ever believed we came.
Well, I mean, or can't, what would the water have rained onto? I mean, what are you supposed to say there? Is your problem that we stated what it would have rained on when we've expressed, what you effectively would have had in the early Earth? Given that your most of your silicates are the first, a lot of the first common elements form from typical stellar processes, and it's only after the fact you really start getting into the heavier metals, since iron's kind of the cutoff point for standard fusion, and you need something a little more energetic to make things happen. But again, at that point, we're getting into cosmology and the like, supernovae, and neutron stars colliding and shit that you just don't even begin to understand. It's that multiplicative Dunning-Kruger where you exponentially don't know what you don't know that you don't know to know that you don't understand this at all.
Came from a rock, Mr. Nelson. Earth began as a hot ball of rock. I know it's embarrassing to have it pointed out so.
It's not embarrassing, Kent, because so far nothing you've said at all, just constantly citing the phrase "Earth began as a ball of rock," doesn't mean what you think it means. You have not drawn the connection. That would be false anyway, but you haven't even drawn the connection. Sleek the Geek says, but he knows we came from Africa, not Iraq. AJ did that too in one of his early streams. He was like, Kent, we didn't come from Iraq. I just loved it. Kent, however, is a Google search result. That Kent, however.
Clearly, but you do believe you came from Iraq. Why don't you just admit it, okay? Origin of life.
Yes, the gaslighting. Oops, I'm spoiling things.
Life's origin is closely linked to rocks and minerals. The idea that life may have emerged from non-living matter such as rocks is supported by the concept of abiogenesis, which points that life arose from simple organic compounds through natural processes. 3.9 billion.
Oh yeah, polyphonics, exactly. That's his entire shtick with that.
Years ago, the Earth cooled down and it rained, and it formed the oceans. Yeah, and in these oceans, 3.5 billion years ago, scientists believe the first living organisms appeared.
Remember, being a crude piece of shit is cool if you grew up back in, the fucking stupid ages of, racist bullshit. Women get their asses back in the kitchen or else. We won 2 world wars. Everything's good. Now time to ruin the economy of the country for, decades to come. Fuckers.
Owe your life to a rock. Thank goodness for granite. If not for the formation and subsequent erosion of large quantities of metal-rich granite on a supercontinent billions of years ago.
To quote AJ yet again, Earth began as a hot ball of cock. It rained on the cocks for millions of queers, and then the cocks turned to poop. God damn it, AJ. I didn't read ahead on that. Fucking hell, AJ. See, AJ has understood that this is a place for being a stupid fuck, and so he's trying to one-up me, and so far he's winning. I can't take that lying down. I gotta stand up to take this kind of abuse. Oh, it's good to have you back. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, okay. Earth started as a hot...
Hovind doesn't like it when I congratulate AJ on, feeling better and getting back into the swing of things. Well, I'm sorry, you're just old and pathetic, Kent.
Ball of very, very very hot liquid. After a few 100 million years, the temperature of Earth reached 2,000 degrees, the melting point of iron and the...
Yeah, polyphonics, but God can do whatever. God's magic. It's like when you call him out on the where'd God come from thing. It's like God is outside time, space, matter. It just automatically special pleads while he's so fucking basic with stuff. He doesn't even give a damn how blatantly backwards ass and how much of a double standard he has with his logic, where other creationists have moved on from trying to do these things so oblately, so being so obtuse with it and trying to just, sort of subversively put in the special pleading and the like so people may not pick up on it. Kent is still stuck 40 fucking years ago with shit that anyone who spent 10 minutes on the internet can parse and realize is a load of crap.
The core was formed. Earth formed 4.54 billion years ago. Let's see, the Earth was so hot from all the collisions that all the rock melted. And the Earth was a hot ball of melted rock orbiting the sun. And then millions of years of torrential rains created great oceans. Swirling in the waters of the oceans was a bubbling broth of complex chemicals. Progress from a complex chemical soup to a living organism.
But AJ, we have to mock this fucking moron until he finally gets to the good part. How far away is that anyway? Okay, we got 10 minutes of Hovind to make it through, and then AJ shows up. And then we're switching over to AJ's video.
Is very slow. It sure is. It don't happen at all. That's how slow it is. 3.5 billion years ago, the first living organisms appeared. Yep. Life in a warm pond. The concept of life starting in a warm little pond was first proposed.
Hovind, did you check for life in the warm pond that's left in your seat every time you do these streams? Every time you see Mr. Nelson, you crap yourself a little bit. And you lost control everywhere else, so you're just a stinky old mess of a man. Ken Hovind craps himself. No film at 11. But that's just as true as Professor Peel.
Proposed by Charlie Darwin in a letter to his friend, Hooker, where he speculated that life could have originated in such an environment.
We have this audio sample of Kent saying Hooker.
The idea, supported by recent scientific studies, said life on Earth began 3.7 to 4.5 billion years ago, possibly in shallow water environments on land, such as volcanic islands or terrestrial hot springs. So, see, it's water in the rocks that melted the rocks, and it's the minerals in the rocks that came from the rocks that made in the ponds, okay?
No, Kent, not the way you say it, but nothing about science is ever the way you say it. Even the shit you're right about, you don't say it correctly.
Let's see. These warm little ponds provided conditions conducive to the formation of prebiotic compounds. Billions of years of the planetary blob would become, the Earth started off as a hot ball of viscous rock. This is from National Pornographic. Got to be true. I peer-reviewed. Yeah. Water trapped inside the minerals erupted with the lava, a process called outgassing. As more water outgassed, the mantle solidified. Yale. Ooh, now this is peer-reviewed. Confessions of a former fireball, how Earth became habitable. Early Earth transformed itself with the help of some weird rocks. Researchers at Yale and Caltech, wow. The Earth transformed itself from a fiery carbon-clouded ball of rocks into a planet capable of sustaining life. The theory covers Earth's earliest years and involves weird rocks that interacted with seawater in just the right way. They had some kind of a conference or something. Okay. As an added bonus, the weird rocks on early Earth would readily react with seawater. This is essential for the creation of biomolecules. The lost city of hydrothermal vents was a prime location for investigating. That's code word for.
I mean, I've got a piece of, I guess you could call it artificial rock that was pulled from the pavement in front of 924 North 25th Street, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Pulled it myself. Just sitting there. Just particular stone, nothing special, just normal paving, normal aggregate, concreted together in some capacity. But it needed to come home with me because it happened to be in that location. Just saying.
Send more money. Mr. Nelson says, no.
Hovind wants people to send him more money. Film at 11.
No evolutionist ever said we came from a rock. Yeah, you did, Aaron. Now listen.
No. What's funny, Kent, is that you can't just show a clip of somebody actually saying that and explaining it. It's always you explaining it and telling others that that's what they believe. And again, not to spoil things, but that's gaslighting.
For you atheists, I want you to call in tonight. I'll try to push your button just a little bit. You're very big on Ken Hovind is not a doctor. Okay? Well, Aaron Ra, formerly Aaron Nelson, calls himself Ra, the sun god. Doesn't he?
It's just a name, Kent. My pseudonym being Yamato doesn't mean that I classify myself as some part of the Yamato clan, nor do I classify myself in any way, shape, or form as Japanese, as I'm accused of so many times because people think I'm a typical weeb. No, used to be one, back when it was cool. Before anime became, commonplace. So, i.e., back when it was stupid to be a weeb. But that's neither here nor there. $45 for a 45-minute VHS tape of anime. That's the kind of struggle we had back in the day. And that was in 1990s money. Anyway. And I've gone over this, through things like ChatGPT and through asking people of understanding, one, the origins and that it's a StarCraft reference, and two, that it is done in an honorific way, is kind of like Aaron Ra's thing, where he explained his name of needing a pseudonym, a nom de plume, if you will, for posts on Usenet and the like. And so he went with a variation composite deity concept, since it's all at the core sort of the same mythos, or it has the same roots. You read way too deep into stuff. And the fact that you're obsessed with that every time, it's like, all right, calls himself the sun god. It's like, can't people call themselves whatever they want? It's just a fucking name. He doesn't think he actually is, but you think you actually have earned the title of doctor. You say you don't care, but you constantly get so upset when people bring it up.
Said he changed his name.
Oh, wait. Spoilers again for what's to come.
Officially, paid $35, yeah. You hypocritical atheists spend time objecting to me being called Dr. Hovind, a title I earned 3 times, whether you...
No, you didn't earn the title, Kent. No one's going to respect the stupid-ass PhDs you act like you have. If you're in my Discord, Soot Kettle posted ChatGPT's quick synopses on Hovind's doctorates, his degrees, his bullshit. They're a joke.
like it or not. Do you spend even 2 seconds objecting to Aaron Nelson deciding to call himself God?
No, because he's not calling himself any kind of deity. It's just a name.
I can't call myself doctor, but he can call himself God.
Hey, look at this childish pettiness. Just look at this for a moment. He's got followers who take him seriously with this. They think he's, one, that this is something he should focus his time on. 2, that it's actually worth anyone focusing on, let alone him in his position, that they think he's such a highly regarded, should be a highly regarded figure. And 3, just the childishness of it in and of itself is just like, come on.
You hypocrites. That's a title he did not earn, I can assure you, okay? Our own Earth was getting hit.
Yeah. It's a name. It's not a title. There's a difference. Now, if you want to get arguing about me known as Lord Yamato, that again is its own thing. And we can go back and forth on that if you wanted to, Hovind. But just remember you're in cyberspace, and I claim that as my dominion, so you're in my lands, intruder.
By rocks that were falling toward it. Kept getting bigger and hotter till it was a giant ball of melted rock.
Ken, no, I'm not going to say it. Not going to say it.
But slowly, over many years, Earth formed, Earth started to cool down. Some rocks are full of ice and gas hit it and melted to make the sea. Where'd they come from? We don't know, but don't ask questions. Don't look behind the curtain, okay? And gradually, over a long period of time, plants started to grow and bugs started to live.
Zoso, don't spoil it for me. I was expecting as much, but now it's spoiled. You suck.
And life on Earth.
Nah, I mean, you're cool, but it is spoiled for me.
Earth began to form. That's a whole story of its own. That's a story, is all it is. How was Earth formed? At first, Earth was a ball of molten rock. Its surface rock slowly began to cool and harden 4 billion years ago. Yep. Then the volcanoes erupted and the continents and life began 3.6 billion years ago. How did our planet form? It's astonishing what you can achieve with just a little bit of gas and dust and a wild imagination. Throw that in, okay? Okay. It all started with a tremendous bang. Somewhere in our galaxy, long ago and far away, a star exploded, throwing out masses of gas and dust. This supernova, as these are called, happened 5 billion years ago. The wreckage from the explosion crashed into a nearby cloud of gas, bringing together the ingredients for our solar system. Slowly, these rocky planets began to organize themselves. They voted, Mercury, you go first. I don't want to go first. It's hot. Get up there, Mercury. You're littlest, okay? An ocean.
And there we have some of the anthropomorphic principles showing through where, be it a joke or not, just this idea of agency and things being sentient and things being, being, well, it's not it's personification, excuse me, not anthropomorphic principle. That's the idea that everything specifically exists for humans. Yeah, this kind of personification and this kind of intent and giving of sentience when someone uses a phrasing like that to simply mean that natural processes primarily guided by the masses of the planets in and of themselves would have gotten them to their positions, because that's how things work out. Things are going to shift to the lowest energy state, which happens to be the orbits the planets are in. They don't perturb each other too much. Everything kind of stays in check. It's that's the point where everything balanced out.
Since formed 3.8 billion years ago. Yep, 3.8 billion years ago. The water condensed into rain and filled the basins, which are now our oceans. So hot soup was the origin of life. Primordial soup, where life began.
I would read out more comments, but that's going to make it even longer before we get to the good part. And I want us to get to the good part, but I also don't want to skip anything Hovind says. So we're going to try to power through. In fact, you know what? I'm going to jump to 1.5. So if you can't handle fast, Hovind, sorry.
Began on Earth was hot. Yeah, I like my soup hot too, not cold. Okay? As many scientists believe. So primordial soup, there it is. Hypothetical set of conditions, 4.2 to 4 billion years ago. Wow. Okay. What is primordial soup made of? Carrots and lettuce and what else? Okay, no, let's see. Earth first bloomed 3.7 billion years ago. How did primordial soup come alive? It became
AJ, it's the insanity of Restream.
alive, okay. They somehow sparked into life. The primordial soup theory suggests that life began in a pond or ocean as a result of all these chemicals from the atmosphere and some form of energy to make amino acids. Okay, began in a pond or an ocean.
No, I don't.
The first self-replicating systems must have emerged in this organic soup. Must have, had to. Chicago. Wow, University of Chicago is peer-reviewed. This has got to be good, okay? Several seminal experiments on the topic have been conducted at University of Chicago, including the Miller-Urey experiment that suggested how the building blocks of life could form in a primordial soup. All life today descended from a microbe. So in your religion, 13 billion years ago, there was a big bang where nothing exploded. 4.6.
No, that was the market price of OVAs at the time. I kid you not. OVAs were rocking super high. It was ridiculous.
Billion years ago, the Earth cooled down, had a hard rocky crust, and it rained on the rocks for millions of years and turned them into soup, and the soup came alive 3 billion years ago. So there's Grandpa right there. Quite a few companies apparently making, besides Campbell soup, they're making Darwin soup, Wallace's soup, Haldane soup. Yeah, primordial soup. I guess you can buy it. So life began as a rock. Mr. Nelson, you do believe you came from a rock. Stop denying it. Or maybe you just don't understand your own religion. We can help you. It rained, and we mean it really rained. It rained for centuries. Almost every ounce of water you see on the surface of the Earth had to fall from the sky. What is the organic theory of evolution? It explains convincing the origin of life. Oh, according to the theory, the world has been evolved and not created. Yeah, they don't want a creator in there, that's for sure. Theories of evolution. So anyway, I cover all this on video number 4. The origin of life is not possible without some kind of creator. It didn't come from rock. So I'm sorry, Mr. Nelson, you do believe you came from a rock, and I got a bunch more of Matt I'd like to play, but anybody in live chat there, brother? Yes, nobody live, any comments? Okay, let's take a few first. Don't want to get too far behind.
The good stuff's about to come.
Good evening. I bought your CSE series. Excited to take your college class from TT. Good evening, Brother Hovind. I bought your CSE series. Repetition. There you go. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Take his college class. Yeah, right. Hey, everyone. Thank AJ for sending me a Google Drive link that contains Hovind's school curriculum and all that jazz. This gives me the material I needed to see if I could actually learn something from Kent Hovind, or if he is truly as horrible a teacher as I suspect he is. I'm going to be point blank with the first few moments I watched of the basic algebra video. He is fucking pathetic. But yeah, that project might actually happen soon.
I had some hairless monkey tell me we have witnessed evolution in real time today. I like that, a hairless monkey. Tell him to call into our show. Call Joseph, 855-BIG-DINO, extension 4. Schedule a debate. He could present his evidence live to the whole world. Okay? Because I don't believe him. Don't believe him for a second. Okay? Let me get Matt on some more here. This way.
The Bible says, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools.
Anyway,
and again, they'll say, nobody thinks we came from a rock. This is a straw man. No, you can type in on Google. Just do it right now if you want to. I won't judge you. You owe your life to a rock. Type it in. And it brings up this paper, and the first few words of the paper are, thank goodness for granite. No, don't think granite. Don't think a rock for your life. Think.
Watashi no kami desu. Although, really, that'd be weird to say watashi obi ore wa no kami desu.
God above for your life. In the beginning, God, not in the beginning, a rock. A lot of atheists will say that it's absurd that Mary could have conceived by the Holy Spirit. How could a virgin conceive? Look, they think a rock conceived. I was in a debate with this guy, the raging atheist, and he said, I don't understand how a Jewish man could die and resurrect from the dead. How could you believe that? Isn't that crazy? Look, atheism teaches that every living organism came alive by itself, resurrected itself from the dead. Atheism teaches a bigger resurrection than Christianity. I believe Jesus had the power to lay down his life, take it back, but atheists believe that every living organism, catch this, every living organism came from non-existence. Let me tell you, it takes more faith to be an atheist than it does to be a Christian. It takes irrational.
No, it just doesn't, Matt. It doesn't, Hovind. And your constant assertions to the contrary mean nothing. There's no faith involved. It's demonstrable. Define faith. Look at how the scientific method works. Look at why atheists are atheists, and you'll notice a complete lack of faith of any type.
Faith, blind faith, and that which you cannot see to be an atheist.
And instead resort to your typical misrepresentations of science, like claiming I think life came from a rock, no matter how.
Call for a debate again. I'll take you on anytime. Every day if you'd like.
How about you try to contact him for a debate, you dumb fuck? I'm gonna keep saying this, Hovind. Get off your lazy ass and you do it, you worthless son of a bitch.
Yes, you do believe life came from a rock. I just showed you your books that you believe. They got accredited degrees. Yeah, they went to college for years and came out believing they came from a rock, so it's got to be true. Yep. You got somebody in here?
Oh, here we go. Time to change. Y'all seen this guy's channel? You ever seen this guy's channel? This AJ guy? Atheist Jr., your friend and humble narrator. He posts some good shit. Some damn good shit. And that's just, his video uploads, them their live streams. He may have inspired a certain Caruso tomato. Yeah. In fact, the tomato man might actually show up in one or two of these somewhere if you watch hard enough. I still love that thumbnail. But what we're here for is for me to get a copyright strike from AJ. I mean, to watch Exposing Kent Hovind again by AJ.
Yep. We got somebody in here? Atheist Jr. Yay. You believe you came from a rock?
No.
You don't?
I'm sorry, AJ hated clicking the not now live, but I'm proud. Donate to me so I can donate it to AJ, and we'll just keep circle jerking all the money around, and Google will get rich. Oh shit. I knew guys who at a point they were actually donating to each other's Patreons, and I'm like, wait, isn't that just redundant? Like, you're just giving Patreon free money. It was weird. Anyway, yeah, I was gonna say, check out this dude on the right. Motherfucking knows what's up.
I just showed all the documents. Like, so you don't believe any of those? Is our lying a National Geographic?
Well, I have a question, Kent. So, your chart that you love to show, why isn't there a rock at the bottom of the chart?
Well, that came before that. See, the chart only starts with living things, which is why you guys like to skip the first 4 stages of evolution.
Evolution definitionally is something that happens on life. Contrary to how much you want to put abiogenesis in with evolution proper, it is not part of it. While the phase where one stage ends and another begins is a bit of a blur, as things tend to be in reality, it's usually not such clear-cut lines. That still doesn't mean one is intrinsically part of the other.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, so a rock isn't. You're saying a rock isn't a living thing, then?
I would agree. A rock is not a living thing.
No, I'm talking about what you think evolutionists believe, not what you believe. I mean, if we think we came from a rock, why isn't it on the chart?
Well, this chart is from the high school textbooks, and it only shows after life gets started.
Exactly.
You guys want to skip because you right now, even you want to, you're embarrassed about, you want to skip the part about where did life come from. And the life I just showed you, all the books are saying it came from a rock. So I can make a longer chart. Would that help if I put a rock and make a new chart with a rock at the bottom? Would that help you?
No, that wouldn't help me. That would help you, because then your claim would match up with the chart that you're showing. Because you're claiming that evolutionists think that humans came from rocks, i.e., evolved from rocks, but the bottom of the chart is the last single-celled organism that was a common ancestor, not a rock.
And none of our ancestors were Obelisk the Tormentor, sadly. Boom. Brought another Yu-Gi-Oh reference in. AJ makes one, I make one. Someone else, finish up.
Well, you just saw all the quotes for the last 20 minutes about where life came from a rock. That is,
Quote mines.
So you're training at a gnat, AJ, and swallowing an elephant, okay?
You know, this is one of those things he says that's just obnoxious to me. This constant straining at a gnat and swallowing some large thing. What the fuck does that actually even mean? Like, what is the actual implication? Because I just try to imagine even the metaphor, if you take it literally, where, you know, sometimes you can visualize it and be like, oh, okay. You know, it's like, what? One of these days, Kent, maybe you'll fucking explain that. But then again, it's probably not going to be a good explanation considering this is you we're talking about.
Your theory does teach that life started from a rock. Now, this chart only shows after life got started. Actually, none of this is true. Each of these creatures could probably be their own little family tree, like all the different varieties, 120 different kinds of ducks. I bet we could make a family tree of ducks that would go back to a duck.
I agree.
Well, that doesn't mean a duck is related to an elephant. Do you believe ducks and elephants are related, AJ?
That doesn't mean that ducks and elephants are related, but there's other things that show evidence for that.
So yes, you do believe a duck and an elephant had a common ancestor, don't you?
Yes, but you already know that, Kent. Come on, we've talked enough times.
Tell me then, tell our listening audience, where did life come from? How did life get started?
The conversion of geochemistry to biochemistry.
Geo meaning earth, so you believe it came from rocks, don't you?
No, geo meaning chemicals contained among the oceans and things that are of the earth, but that are not what we would consider to be living organisms, because they don't have the categories that need to be qualified to be called life, like reproduction, taking in food.
Yeah, I mean, it's that simple, Kent. Various minerals and the like. Again, minerals aren't rocks. Rocks can come from, or minerals can come from rocks, sure. They aren't rocks directly. Different elements, different silicates, different compounds. Solid things are going to aggregate together into something that would be colloquially described as a rock. Free up some of those materials. Water's a universal solvent. You get some chemical reactions going, and as I always say, chemicals doing what chemicals do, you eventually get to life. Nothing precludes it.
Chart only starts with once life gets started. But
exactly, Ken, I agree. Rocks aren't alive, so we didn't come from rocks. Nobody believes that. That's why you can't show a single clip of any atheist or evolutionist on YouTube saying, I believe that we came from a rock. They all disagree with you.
I just showed you 20 minutes worth of it.
No, I'm talking about a clip of a person saying, I believe I came from a rock. That's what I'm saying. Not your quote mines.
Okay, do you believe you came from an amoeba or single cell creature?
I mean, that's oversimplifying things, but for the purposes of our discussion, I'll just say yes.
Okay, Joseph, put this one up, science.org. You owe your life to a rock. Thank goodness for granite.
I just realized how far back I am in the chat. I'm going to have to do a lot of catching up. So you're about to get just unfiltered, uncommented AJ versus Hovind action.
So it rained on the rocks, dissolved the minerals out of the rocks, like geochemical, like you said. All the elements, the chemical elements, are found in the rocks. The rain dissolved them out of there into a soup, and the soup somehow came to life. And then the chart starts with living things. That's why it's so important to admit, and you'll never do it, there are 6 stages to evolution, and you want to start with number 5. You don't want to talk about the first 4, but they're essential.
I'm happy to talk about it.
Well, that's why it's like a fairy trail. Just imagine.
I don't know if y'all noticed that, but he says fairy trail right there. Yeah, that's what's what the path Matt walks along there, buddy. You're following right behind him. Your little fabulous buddies with your cute little matching outfits. Oh, aren't you precious? And hey, Jay, I show every comment. We all goof regularly. Remember, I'm the guy who totally forgot that bees bite in your stream. And one of our first interactions ever was you having to remind me, no, bees do bite. They don't just sting. I felt like a dumbass after that. Then I got over it and realized, you forget shit sometimes. But see, I never forgot that happened. Oh, good times.
The princess in the castle had trillions of dollars. Stop. Where'd the princess come from? Where'd the castle come from? Where'd the money come from? No, we're gonna assume we can start there. You want to start with living things.
Oh, but you can just start with the God and start with all this other stuff for your story, and it's absolutely fine. Special pleading.
I'm not going to give you that. I'm not going to be gracious like that.
Where'd the talking snake come from?
I don't know. See, that's
where the demons being turned into pigs come from, Ken?
You're changing the topic on purpose because.
No, Kent, AJ isn't changing the topic on purpose. He is directly contrasting what you said and the rejection you made to the established baselines of these scientific concepts. That if you reject on you already have stuff when you can't say where it came from, AJ's countering with, well, your doctrine has stuff just special pleading in that same way that you want to accuse us of, but you want to say it's a different topic. No. And I was screaming this to myself quietly while at work listening to this. This is called an attempt at an organic conversation, Kent, which is something you're terrified of because it's going to pull you off your little script. That's why you have to control debate so much. Otherwise, if you were so good, you would agree to my terms and you would be just begging me to debate you. Because I keep telling you, if you propose a debate, if you come and say, hey, I want to debate Cursor Tomato, I'll do it. But it's going to be on my terms, Kent. Otherwise, fuck it. You're so strong. You're so bad. You can handle yourself. Take out the safety, get out from under the safety blanket there, buddy.
You're just demonstrating that you have a religion. You believe life got started. You don't know where it came from. You don't know where the Big Bang came from. Well, why don't you admit it's a religion and let's stop paying for it in the school system? You guys like having a tax-supported religion called evolution in the schools. I admit mine's a religion. You guys will not admit yours is a religion, something you take on faith. I don't know how you can't see it. Willingly,
There's a difference between young earth creationism and just Christianity or believing that there was a God that created the universe. Young earth creationism is a fringe offshoot of that not all Christians believe that. A lot of them think evolution is true. So your assertion that people only believe evolution because they want freedom from God and freedom from his rules is incorrect, because lots of Christians are evolutionists.
Well, you're changing the topic again. You're missing the point.
No, I'm responding to what you just said.
Where did life get started? It started in geochemicals, which geo means earth. Okay, so
geochemistry. That's a key distinction.
Right.
Right.
Geochemistry means the chemicals that came out of the rock. How?
No,
they were dissolved out by the water. I just showed you all the quotes.
Not just rock, though. Not just rock.
Well, the water dissolved the chemicals out of the rock. Here, put this one up. Let's see. 3.9 billion years ago, Earth cooled and it began to rain.
Put up my slides quickly. They're gonna show exactly what I'm talking about. I don't have anything else to go back to. I gotta have my precious slides, Hovind.
Violent rainstorms. Eventually, it made Earth's oceans. In the oceans, 3.5 billion years ago, scientists believe the first living organisms appeared. Do you believe the first living organisms appeared in the oceans, which were from the dissolved chemicals out of the rocks?
I'm not going to agree that it's just coming from rocks, because the early Earth was molten, Kent. It was a totally different environment than it is now.
So how did life get started with molten rock? I mean, that's like really 2,000 degrees or so. You know, think life can sustain that? It had
Because
the ocean.
it didn't happen overnight. This is a process that it is happening as Earth is molten rock. That the rock cools down, and you have continuous processes of water, ponds getting rained on, electricity and thunderstorms happening to them, chemistry happening in the oceans. That water evaporates and goes through the water cycle, and those chemical reactions take place over and over and over again. And it's a continuous process. It's not just something that, like a lightning strikes a mud puddle and then life forms. That's your misrepresentation that creationists basically lie about, to say that this is what evolution, abiogenesis is, and it's a total misrepresentation. It's oversimplifying and it's dumb.
Oh, you guys completely oversimplify everything. Nobody's ever seen.
Except we don't, can't. Wow, I was hot mic that entire time. Beautiful. No, can't. We don't. See, what we do is we try to go into the details, and you go, one topic at a time, thus preventing anyone from showing how beautifully nested so many facets of science are when it comes to evolutionary principles, and even your extended 6 different kinds of evolution, how it's all still factual, even though it's not evolution. It's still fact. You don't want to get into that, because anyone who pays attention to that would see, oh shit, the scientists are right.
A cow produce a non-cow, or a duck produce a non-duck, but you believe ducks and cows are related, and they came from a single-celled creature like an amoeba or protozoa or bacteria, whichever one you want to choose. And the bacteria got formed in the prebiotic soup, which is from the rocks getting rained on.
Cows producing cows and animals having common ancestry, those are not mutually exclusive.
So I'm just pointing out the absurdity of your religion, and you're welcome to your religion. I don't care what you believe.
It's not a religion. It's not a religion.
Yeah, I mean, we always need to constantly stress that to Kent. Just, it's not. And him and his little cohort saying, you're your religion. It's like, no, it's not.
It's not a religion. It's not. It's not. Stop lying.
Guess what, AJ? I'm going to keep saying you believe life came from a rock, whether you like it or not. And I'm going to keep calling myself Dr. Hovind, whether you...
And we're going to keep calling you out on that shit. Get used to it, buddy. It should be a sign to him, the more people continue to do content regarding this clown, that maybe he's not actually winning like he thinks he is. But I legitimately don't think he realizes how pathetic his following actually is at this stage. They're also too stupid to be able to find him. They can't do a basic search and actually find his content or anything anywhere else. Hey, what happened to his YouTube channel 6 months fucking later? By the way, did you hear a plane hit the second tower there, Slowpoke?
You like it or not. How's that? And Mr. Nelson's going to keep calling himself God, whether I like it or not. That's okay. Now,
well, I'm just curious. So you said you have 4 PhDs. Besides Patriot, what schools did you go to? I'm just curious.
You're changing.
This is where things get brutal. I love it.
Changing the topic again.
No, you're the one that brought up your PhD, Kent, that you're a doctor.
Abe Lincoln had a second grade.
Yep. You're the one who brought up the doctor thing, Kent, thus making it fair play in this conversation.
Education. Was he a smart man?
Yeah, but I'm asking, what schools did you go to besides Patriot? Because you say you have 4 PhDs.
You're missing the point. You don't need to go to school at all. A lot of smart people don't go to school at all. I think I'm pretty smart.
But you said you did go to school.
You've already changed the subject 5.
Yeah, you think you're pretty smart. You don't know shit, Hovind. You probably couldn't actually even get a bachelor's in any kind of college, any proper college. In an actual, what am I trying to say? An actual field of study.
5 times tonight. Do you believe life came from prebiotic soup, which came from the rocks?
No, not the way that you're describing it. And you're the one that wanted to rub your doctorate in my face, Ken. So I'm just asking, because if you have a PhD, then that's supposed to be, your dissertation is supposed to be public record that anybody can read, but there's no dissertations.
You know, now that I think about it, Laura, that should be something Abide University offers, a degree in brickology.
For these other 3 degrees. So I'm just wondering, like, what schools you went to.
Doesn't matter.
It
Call
does
me
matter.
Kent. Okay, call me Kent. Forget it.
No, I
This
would
is
have called you
all-
Kent anyway.
This is all ad hoc.
It's not ad hominem, Kent. The 1,000th time, for those not listening out there in the audience, the Hovindites who watch this crap somehow and actually don't give up halfway through. Although I think I've actually kept the profanity at a relative minimum this time around. You constantly have everything brand you as doctor to make you seem like some kind of authority. It is part of the character you play insofar as the theatrics of making yourself seem like an authority. Thus, as a part of the, what's the word for it? The obfuscation you do about your lack of actual credentials and understanding on anything, this makes it seem like you actually know something, so people will take you more seriously. It's the same reason all these other people with degrees that you hear about in various creationist fields are always engineers or dentists or something weird, you know, completely unrelated to the actual field in question, the actual subjects in question. You can be pretty damn good at some stuff and not know shit about other things. That's me. There's a lot of stuff I know inside out. There's common sense shit I ain't got a clue about. I blame the tism. In your case, I also blame the tism. Plus some other conditions that seem very evident.
You do believe you came from a rock. All you atheists do.
Nope.
And you're embarrassed. You're embarrassed that I show it so plainly. That's all. You should be embarrassed. For heaven's sake, that's your grandparents. Why do you drive on them on the highway? What is wrong with you?
You believe in the pre-trib rapture, Kent.
Oh, here we go. Changing subject.
Oh, when AJ explains this, I know Laura knows what's up with this. But AJ explaining this at the end. That's why we're watching AJ's version, so we get his explanation at the end. Chef's kiss on that one.
Subject again. Man, you squirm out of everything. You're like a worm. You know, birds after
Would you rather talk about your degrees? You don't want to talk about that.
The program tonight was about how did life get started. You admitted it's
The program tonight was you just bitching about rocks.
geochemistry,
And I told you.
which means chemicals that came out of the rocks.
The
So I don't know how
conversion
you
of
can't see it or
geochemistry
won't see it.
into biochemistry.
Last I checked, it was mostly chemicals that came out of the cocks, but you know.
That's
Right.
my answer.
Okay. So
And that's supported by the data.
No, the rocks came to bio, which is life. You do believe you came
Right.
from a rock. Yes, you do. Just admit it. Come on.
Do you know what
Come on, Hudson.
gaslighting is, Kent?
Everyone, please applaud AJ for finally bringing this up. It may have been brought up to him before, but AJ just straight up pointing this out. And then listen to how Kent responds, because of course he has to reverse everything. And then just watch the way this immediately devolves into, gotta protect the Hovind.
Yeah, you're doing a good job of it.
No, you
Change
are,
that-
because you're saying, this is like me saying, you believe the pre-trib rapture, don't you, Kent? Don't you? You believe this thing that we both know you don't believe, don't you? You believe the sky is red, don't you, Kent? Don't you?
Cut him off, okay?
And it's God.
Okay, so as usual, I get muted and booted by Kent's tech guy. What I was trying to say there is, oh, Kent, you think the sky is red? Just don't you? Just admit it, you know? And in case anybody didn't get my meaning, because Kent clearly didn't understand what I was saying with the pre-trib rapture. Kent used to teach the pre-trib rapture, but he changed his theology to later teach the post-trib rapture is true. One of the only times I think Kent has publicly admitted that he was wrong about something, even though it's theology and doesn't really matter.
Actually, yeah, AJ, you got it right. It used to be pre-trib and went post-trib. Trib.
Because it's just an interpretation of the Bible. But what I was trying to say is that, oh, you believe the pre-trib rapture. Why don't you just admit it? You know what I mean? Which is supposed to be an example of me throwing his gaslighting back in his face, but Kent just accused me, oh, you're changing the topic again.
You do believe you came from a rock. I showed you. It has to, because the earth was a hot ball of rock, and it got rained on and turned to soup. Let's see. You're 13 years old, right? Yeah. Are you understanding what I'm showing? Does he believe he came from a rock?
That's not a safe place for you to be, Mr. 13-year-old, because I think I hear a guy's voice back there. Yeah. Oh, but of course the captive audience at DAL is going to agree with you. Can't come the fuck on.
You got to be smarter than a 13-year-old, AJ, I would think. Maybe not. Okay. And how old's your daughter? How old? What? 27. Did you understand what I said? Does he believe he came from a rock? And he's not wanting to admit it.
Hey, let's just go for these leading questions and ask my captive audience. Oh, look, AJ put the perfect thoughts right there. This is just sad.
See, because they're embarrassed, they got to drive on their grandparents and all that kind of stuff. They should be embarrassed. Okay, Joseph, any more comments there? Yeah. Learn them, Kent. Okay, I'm trying. It's hard. Okay, it's like trying to explain colors to a blind man. See, what AJ pointed out is they want to start with something already alive. And this chart starts with living things. Now, this chart is pure propaganda. It's a propaganda poster, not a bit of science behind it. We do not know that a duck and a camel have a common ancestor. We don't know any such thing. Now, probably all the types of camels, maybe even the one hump and the two hump and the no hump camel. I don't know. Maybe they had a common ancestor. Could be. But that doesn't prove camels are related to whales.
Ah, but Kent, are they not both mammals? Maybe all mammals have common ancestors. See, that's the thing. You have one-dimensional, two-dimensional tops thinking. We're playing fucking 5D chess over here with cladistics, motherfucker.
This is propaganda poster. But see, that's why I'll show it again for those that haven't seen this part. Let's see.
That's why atheist.
And there we go. We have reached the end of AJ's video. So what we're going to do is move back to the Hovind. No, I don't want to leave the stream. I was about to leave my own damn stream. And we're going to jump ahead to right after.
I've seen this part. Let's see.
And finish this up. I'm going to go back to normal speed. As much as I don't want to, this is where things get interesting. Well, they don't get interesting here. They get interesting down the line. He's going to preamble on for a bit. Is preamble a word? Prattle on, ramble. I do that a lot. I sometimes mix stuff together for another little while. You know what? I normally wouldn't do this, but there's no meat on this bone anymore. We saw the best part. Let's jump to the end.
And they might diversify where they can no longer.
And seriously, if there was anything in those like 8 minutes that I missed, let me know. But I don't think there was anything.
Bring forth like Chihuahua, Great Dane. They're still the same kind. They started off as the same kind. They would have a common ancestor called a dog. But you want to say that proof they're. And it's free. What else you want? Yeah. Okay. Tomorrow night we'll do another open mic. Call in if you'd like.
Do another open mic. Call in if you like. Maybe I will, Kent. Maybe I will. Oh, wait. Sorry. Guild Wars reset is at 7. And I'd rather spend my time in Tyria than being just under your tyranny. Ugh. Having to watch my P's and Q's inside of your shitty little chat.
Let's see. And AJ, I pray for you. You do believe you came from a rock. And I'd rather have you be founded on the rock of ages, Jesus Christ. That's a much better foundation. See you tomorrow. Bye.
The only rock of ages I care about is Def Leppard. So, this would be the end of the stream, right? Right? No. We got a post-credits bonus scene. Oh, hang on. Let's go back just. Let it go just a bit. So there's no audio, but he's still fiddling around with crap. So we get to see Old Man Hovind, you know, begin to finish up his day. Scoot back. Put his water jug. Do the old man look. Oh, where's my stuff? Here, you need to come give me a massage later? Okay, if you don't want to hit with this freaking rubber band. Because Hovind's fucking obsessed with rubber bands. And he talks about that paper airplane forever ago. He's got that motherfucker in one of his slides. He is obsessed with the most pathetic little shit things he's done. Look at our Dinosaur Adventureland. I look at this rubber band game. Look at this paper airplane. It's like, dude, grow the fuck up. So, sits there creepily playing with the rubber band, flings it, probably injured somebody. Now wants them to clean up the blood that he caused them to spill. Laughing about him being in pain. And then, Hovind junk cam! Oh yeah, nobody wanted to see it. As he prattles away, apparently having taken some kind of supplement or something. And there goes the earthquake as people walk at GBC. And there you go. What more can you ask for? So fucking stupid. Oh, man. Oh, look. It's Dr. Disrespect. Now tell me, seriously. I just want to bring this up. Who in the goddamn hell could possibly have seen there was a streamer called Dr. Disrespect and not expect them, even though, yeah, he's playing a fucking character still, and not expect him to be a creep like everyone else? It's so fucking ridiculous. We're not here to talk about that. We spent the time with dealing with the Hovind. Wow, we made it in a minute 11 seconds, an hour 11 minutes. As a blind person with excellent color acuity, I object to Kent's comment. Do you know what gaslighting is? Yeah, it was beautiful. It was fucking beautiful. Yeah, AJ, this was fun. It's always fun having you in here. I try to join your streams as much as I can. They're just always at such weird times, or I end up being busy with something like I'm at work. So, still the weird time thing. No, preamble is a word. I use that. No, what I was saying was preamble, as in prattle and ramble. Yeah. Visiting DAL is free, and the only cost is your dignity. Everyone congratulating AJ on how awesome he was in it, because he fucking was. Big Bad Mama's gonna go on this one. Hell yeah. Post-credit boner scene. Music by Brian pops in. Hey there. Yeah, call. Shuck on my boss. Joke. What time does Sean Connery watch Wimbledon? Tennis. Oh, God. Y'all are great. Y'all are great, though. We're going to finish up some of these awesome comments. I'll go and wash your eyeballs. Oh, Michael, you came in right at the end. Just got here and heard Hovind junk cam. Hey, it's Cyman Dan. He pops in at the end. Hey, buddy, good to see you. Oh, man. Everyone saying hi to Dan. Hell yeah. Neck pussy up top, field mouse down south. Oh my God. I hate that so many people popped up a little late. But I'm glad y'all stopped by. This is definitely a fun stream to watch. A little bit of a ramble, a little bit out there. Heavy focus on AJ in this one since he called in the Hovind show and just fucking owned him. It was beautiful. I don't really have much else to say. I'm going to begin unwinding from the work week. Plan on more streams, other stuff coming up. And yeah, y'all just keep on being awesome. Much love. Catch everyone next time. As usual, links below, by the way. Check those out. All that jazz. Pop in the Discord. You'll regret it if you don't. Trust me on this one. Seriously, much love. Catch everyone next time.